Alright y'all, today we are going to paint one of my more favorite things to paint, which is the shad color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it more for clear water. So I always find that if you fish a lot of clear water like I do, if you have more of a transparent look, it seems to do a lot better. So I will not start with a base coat of white. I'll just go in with my paint colors, and you'll see the difference on how it makes it look with translucency. Basically, I do like to add a little bit of texture to the gill, so I use a little bit of foil flakes. You'll get to see me do that. It's a disaster, but when it turns out well, it turns out well. And then I'm just going with some pearl white, some pearl silver, some pearl blue, and then my yellow stripe. And then I take some color shift paint and go over the gills just to kind of give it a little more of a pinkish red undertone. And that's it. It's pretty simple. Throw some eyes in it and it usually looks really good. So we'll see how it turns out today. So I'm going to start with my pearl white. I'm just all over, maybe. Get this gill area a little bit wet. Some of this, a little bit of this foil. Find a little piece. Just kind of lay it in here. So this foil I got at Hobby Lobby, and sometimes it's okay to work with, and sometimes it's not. And as I go to spray again, it'll probably start flying and I'll lose bits and pieces, so I always get a little bit heavy-handed with it. But I just think it's fun. I think it adds some depth kind of to that gill plate area. And I'm going to go ahead and get the spray over it done. Kind of help pack it down a little bit. There we go. All right, next will be the pearl silver. I'm just gonna kind of hit it. And then I go in with one of my favorite blues and just spray the back. And a little bit down the side. And just through the back. Barely bring it down. One of the things I struggled with was putting my shad line on. I don't have a real steady hand. It was always crooked. So what I did is I took this comb, and on this end where it was picks, I just taped it down to give me a line that typically works pretty well for these crankbaits. I don't go all the way up, but I do go pretty. Ta-da! Alright, next I'm going to add a little bit of the color shift to the gills. Just add black. I always black out my eye sockets. Try to be pretty gentle because my airbrush is old and I've used it and it's not real consistent anymore. And it'll go all over the place if I'm not careful. So just a quick little spray across the back, and that's it. And then lastly, I can put my shad dot on there. So I found the easiest way to do a shad dot. You can cut out a little hole. I do that too. But if you want it, like for me, this is easier. I just take the lid of my back of this paintbrush, dip it in there, wherever I want it, and done. And same thing other side. And done. Alright, there I've got my shad dots now. So I will blow it out and put some eyes in it, and she will be ready for clear coat. But that's it. Pretty basic. You don't even have to put the foil in. You just do the spray. The black definitely darkens it up quite a bit. I do have a color shift blue that I probably am going to spray over the top of it as well, just to have that black, because I do like more of the blue look than the black. But it definitely, the black kind of ties the colors together. So I'm going to do that and get some eyes in it. Alright, now we're going to play the game. Are the eyes going to behave themselves? It is always a hit or miss with these guys. And I don't really have a rhyme or reason why I pick whatever color eyes I do. I just pick whatever I think looks best and not necessarily what's realistic. I'm sure I could probably put a red eye in this guy, but I'm going to go with a silver. I get my eyes just off of Amazon. I need to order some more, but there's some really cool ones out there if you want to get really fancy, cool eyes. So guys, if you really like throwing crankbaits, this is pretty easy setup. If I can do it, anybody can do it. The Hobby Lobby. See, this one's not gonna behave. Until I watched a few. All right, where'd you go? You stupid eye. This is how I end up with eyes stuck all over me.